When the Apollo astronauts departed the moon, they left behind more than flags and footprints. They left instruments designed to wait, to listen, and to remember. Long after the echo of rocket engines faded into silence, Apollo's seismographs remained, standing alone on an airless world, quietly recording the subtle motions of an ancient celestial body. These instruments transformed the moon from a static symbol into a living archive of cosmic history. For centuries, the moon was thought to be inert, a dead world frozen in time. Its surface appeared unchanged, scarred by impacts that stretched back billions of years. Without wind, water, or plate tectonics, nothing seemed to move. But this perception was shaped by distance and assumption, not evidence. The Apollo seismographs changed that forever. Seismology is the science of listening to planets. On Earth, it reveals shifting plates, molten interiors, and the restless energy beneath our feet. Applying this technique to the moon was a bold experiment. Scientists did not know what to expect. Would the moon be silent? Or would it speak in ways unlike any world previously studied? Between 1969 and 1972, astronauts deployed seismometers during the Apollo 11, 12, 14, 15, and 16 missions. Positioned across the lunar surface, these instruments formed the first extraterrestrial seismic network in history. Powered by solar energy and radioisotope generators, they were built to endure harsh temperature extremes and operate autonomously for years. Once activated, they began to listen. What they heard rewrote planetary science. The moon experiences quakes, many of them, but they are not like earthquakes. Lunar quakes fall into distinct categories, each revealing a different layer of the moon's internal story. The most mysterious are deep moonquakes, originating hundreds of kilometers below the surface. These quakes occur not randomly, but predictably, triggered by tidal forces as Earth's gravity stretches and relaxes the moon along its orbit. These deep quakes repeat with uncanny regularity, sometimes in the same location every month. This behavior suggests that the moon's interior is still responding to stresses established billions of years ago. Though geologically quiet compared to Earth, the moon is not rigid. It flexes slowly and persistently, like a cooling body adjusting to its own weight. Shallow moonquakes are more dramatic. These events occur closer to the surface and can be surprisingly powerful, stronger relative to the moon's gravity than many earthquakes. They are thought to result from the moon's gradual cooling and contraction. As the interior loses heat, the crust compresses and fractures, producing seismic events that can last for hours. The absence of water dramatically changes how seismic energy behaves. On Earth, water-filled cracks absorb vibrations quickly. On the moon, seismic waves travel farther and linger longer. After an impact or quake, the moon continues to vibrate, resonating like a struck bell. This ringing allowed scientists to trace wave paths through the interior with extraordinary clarity. Meteorite impacts provided another source of seismic data. Without an atmosphere, even small objects strike the moon at cosmic velocities. Each impact generated shockwaves that rippled through the crust and mantle. By analyzing these signals, scientists mapped variations in density and composition beneath the surface. From this data emerged the first detailed picture of the moon's interior: a fractured outer crust, thicker on the far side than the near side. Beneath it, a mantle that was once partially molten, evidence of ancient volcanic activity. And at the center, a small core, partially molten, rich in iron and sulfur, far smaller relative to the moon's size than Earth's core. This discovery carried enormous implications. It supported the giant impact hypothesis, the idea that the moon formed from debris after a Mars-sized body collided with the early Earth. The moon's composition, structure, and small core aligned with this violent origin story, recorded not in rock alone, but in vibration. As years passed, the Apollo seismographs continued to operate, sending data back to Earth until 1977. By then, they had recorded tens of thousands of seismic events. Yet their greatest contributions were still ahead. Decades later, scientists revisited the archived data using modern computational techniques. Signals once dismissed as noise revealed new patterns. Subtle reflections of seismic waves exposed finer internal layering. The moon's core was confirmed to be partially liquid, and evidence emerged of a boundary between solid and molten regions deep within. These insights arrived just as humanity began planning its return to the moon. Understanding lunar seismicity is not academic, it is practical. Future habitats, power stations, and infrastructure must account for moonquakes. Though infrequent, shallow quakes could threaten long-term structures. Knowledge gained from Apollo now informs engineering designs for Artemis-era missions and beyond. The moon's seismic record also extends beyond itself. It serves as a proxy for understanding other rocky bodies. Mercury, Mars, and even distant moons share similarities with the moon's dry, rigid interior. By learning how seismic waves behave in such environments, scientists refine models used across the solar system. In this sense, the moon is a teacher planet. Its simplicity, compared to Earth, makes it a clearer laboratory for fundamental planetary processes. It preserves evidence Earth has erased of early bombardment, internal cooling, and planetary differentiation. The Apollo seismographs also turn the moon into a cosmic sensor. By tracking impact rates, scientists estimated how often Earth may have been struck in the past. The moon silently recorded collisions that shaped the inner solar system, acting as a historical witness to chaos and creation. Perhaps most profound is the philosophical implication. The instruments were built with slide rules and analog electronics, yet they continue to inform 21st century science. They represent a moment when humanity chose to listen rather than conquer, to place sensors on another world and wait. The moon did not roar. It whispered, and those whispers told stories of formation, fracture, memory, and time. Today, new missions plan to deploy modern seismometers, expanding on Apollo's legacy. With greater sensitivity and broader coverage, future instruments will listen more deeply than ever before. Yet they will stand on the foundation laid half a century ago. The Apollo seismographs remind us that exploration does not end when astronauts leave. Sometimes, it begins when silence sets in, when machines remain behind, patiently recording truths that unfold slowly. The moon still moves. It still responds to gravity, impact, and internal stress. And through the data left behind by Apollo, it continues to speak, not in words, but in vibrations, subtle, persistent, and profoundly revealing. In listening to the moon, humanity learns something unexpected. Even the most ancient, seemingly lifeless worlds are not truly still. They carry histories beneath their surfaces, waiting for those willing to listen long enough to hear them.